Hello everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you especially Chelsea, Ed's Gaming, Dante Di Lorenzo, all these channel members. Some of you have been with me 2 years, getting on for 2 years, over 2 years. Fantastic. Thank you for your support. It's amazing. So welcome to my first video of 2022. I've got a bit of a different setup here, so it's unusual not seeing my face on the game screen. I've got another camera set up because I just wanted to go through the mods that I'm using for Skyrim. Yeah, I've got my new Xbox Series X, a few new games on there. Lawn mowing simulator, I don't know why I got that. It seemed like a good idea at the time. It's rather tedious, to be honest. I've got the Microsoft plane crash simulator, Witcher I had before, and obviously Skyrim. There should be Red Dead Redemption on there somewhere as well. There he goes. So that's what I'm playing. But main interest obviously is Skyrim. So some of you may or may not know that after 11/11/21, it may be purely coincidental with the anniversary edition update for Skyrim, but my game went. It was kaput. I couldn't play. It was totally unplayable. Crashing through any kind of loading screen, going through a door, couldn't do it. So I made a concentrated effort to get the new console, managed to do it, drove a 600-mile round trip to get the new console, and installed the anniversary edition for the update for Skyrim Special Edition, and obviously a fresh install on a new console, and it solved so many problems. I played vanilla for quite a while and no issues whatsoever. It ran absolutely perfectly, no crashes. The loading screens going by like lightning. Really impressed. So I got to a stage where I wanted to install mods because I ain't playing Skyrim without Inigo. So I wanted to show you what I've done. A lot fewer mods than last time, than before. But I've decided against. I've got no graphic mods whatsoever. I'm really concentrating on getting a stable game, because restarting games from the beginning is becoming rather tedious. I don't want to do it anymore. So if I can, what I want to do is continue the series that I had going before I had the crash, and obviously I've got to get my characters up to the point they were before, which is a challenge, but it's fun. So the mods that I've got installed, let's take a look. Not many of them. I went with the Skyrim Special Edition patch because I've been installing it so long. I'm not sure what it fixes, but I'm sure it fixes a lot of problems, and I just don't see any reason not to have it. So 50% more perk points. I decided to put in this Ordinator Perks of Skyrim mod, and the mod tree branches, there seems to be loads more than there was in the vanilla game, and they're kind of interesting. It's like a really good you can really sort of specialize your characters, and there's lots of really interesting perks in there, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go with that. It looks kind of fun. But because there's so many of them, I decided to install this one as well. So every 2 levels I get an extra perk point. So that's it. Ars Metallica, that is just such a useful mod. You get to melt down old weapons, armour, saucepans, clutter. You can also make your own lockpicks, which to me it's a no-brainer. You gotta have that one. And also I want to be able to sharpen. The Ebony blade is my favourite weapon in the game. I don't like how you're supposed to upgrade it so that it absorbs the maximum amount of health from your opponents, but there are ways around it that you can do it. You can go to Kagramez on Solstheim and you can recruit dwarven automatons, and when you kill them, they count for upgrading the Ebony blade. So I've gone for that. The Paarthurnax quest expansion. Previously I had the Paarthurnax Dilemma mod, and a lot of people in the comments section have told me that that's outdated. There's no dialogue for it, for one thing. There's no actual voiced lines. You've got to read everything, which is not a bad thing. Reading's a kind of good skill to have. But this one was recommended as a much better alternative to the Paarthurnax Dilemma, so I thought I'd give this one a go this time round. Of course Inigo's with me. Can't play without Inigo, got to have him. And I'm becoming more and more attached to Lucian. I will admit that the very first time that I tried him, which was way before he had the collaboration with Smartbluecat. So this was Joseph Russell's own standalone Lucian mod, and I installed him. And it was a very short time before I deleted. I didn't really give him a chance. And the reason for that is he's supposed to be sort of very wet behind the ears and unskilled in sort of adventuring and combat. But the very first time we encountered any opponent, any threat, and it was Spriggans, and my character was still kind of low, and I was getting the absolute kicked out of me and really struggling to stay alive. I was playing at the time on legendary difficulty. Lucian got right stuck in. He says, "Oh, this is a lot of fun, isn't it?" Or words to that effect. And I thought, oh, that just doesn't ring true. And it was a very short time after that I deleted him. But in fairness, I didn't give him a chance. And it was only after Joseph Russell collaborated with Smartbluecat for their interactions. And even in his own right, I've recently done Lucian's quest. And wow, well impressed and absolutely love it. And so Lucian in his own right is staying on the team, whether or not he had interactions with Inigo. I do think that his interactions with Inigo are at the moment a little too frequent. That we have the same conversation over and over again quite a lot of times, and that becomes a bit repetitive. But I think that's something that Joseph Russell is going to look at in the future. And but anyway, absolutely love Lucian, almost as much as Inigo. I really wanted to install another follower mod called Skeever, but the mod author for Skeever, who also goes by the name of Skeever, has advised me to hold off until there's an Xbox update for him, because I tried him out and I contacted Skeever, and he said there are still a few issues on Xbox. He said perfect on PC. So if you've got PC and you haven't downloaded Skiver, do it, because he's brilliant. He's a bit verbose, but it's kind of fun. And he's got some good skills, some skills that Lucian and Inigo don't have. But so when the update for Skiver comes for Xbox, I will be installing him, but later on. No more Dead Merchants. I've got to have that one. I can't play without that. It's really annoying to have to reload when you find out eventually that some of your favourite merchants have been killed. And no more Dead Followers. When I was playing when I reinstalled and played the vanilla game, I had Lydia as a follower, and we got into trouble and Lydia got killed, and no, I'm not having that. My followers are protected when they're with me, so I want that mod, and I've got to have that. Can't play without that. Vanilla game, merchants never have enough money, so I've got to give them a few extra coins so that I can actually trade with them in a useful way. Got to have that one. And then 3 quest marker mods: Berenzia, Jib's Opus, and Arvak's Skull quest markers, and the Dawn Guard map markers. Why they're not vanilla, I don't know, but I've got to have those. And that's it. That's all the mods I've got. But as I say, the idea was to keep the game as stable as possible, and I'm having no issues as I can see at the moment. This is as stable as it gets. I did want to install, after I'd installed those mods that I just told you about, I did want to install the there it is, redesigned. Where are you? I'm looking down here again. You're up here, sorry. Redesign females, redesign males. I really wanted to do that because the characters are so much better than vanilla. They're really good mods. But as soon as I installed them, my game immediately started crashing. So they had to go. Which does mean, as I was, that my characters are not as good looking as they were previously in the series, but we're going to have to live with that. We'll have to say that they've had COVID or something, and they've or what is it, rock joint, or the droops, or whatever the Skyrim game is, with the diseases are, but they've not been well, and they don't look as good as they did before. So that's my Colin character. Everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to your fantasies. The way they look is the least of recreating the character. What I've got to do is to watch all my old videos leading up to where they were. We finished off just after the peace talks, I believe. And we were about to go and trap a dragon. We were going to trap Odavine. That was going to be the next thing. So I've got to get to that point via the same route as I took before to recreate the character fully, so that I can continue the series. That is obviously going to take a little while. But I think I've done a fairly decent job as to recreate him. So that's him. But we also had another character who was a lot. He was. There he is, Evander. We'd done a lot less with him on screen, but I'd done a lot more with him in in an actual game, because I'd leveled him up a lot more. He was about level 40 as a mage, but at the moment, I've got him about right, and the only thing that I haven't done with him that I'd done in his series was the Boethius Calling quest, but he's still too low a level. You've got to be level 30 before that starts. So, and this is the Ordinator mods of Skyrim perks. Yeah, destruction. So we're working on destruction for him, but there's lots of very interesting perks that you can take for all the perk trees. So as you can see, I'm going to put up another picture alongside him and my Colin character so that you can see what they looked like before, and you see that he's nowhere near as handsome as he was previously, but like I say, he's not been well. That's the vanilla look for the character that I had before. Sorry Evander, but you ain't pretty. You're not pretty anymore. But anyway, so that's him, and that's what we're going to play with. The next thing that I'm going to do, because we've got we have got Karstag's skull. There it is. We've got Karstag's skull, and we're about to put it on his throne, but that'll be a video for itself. So, and yeah, Evander, he'll be doing all the things that Colin won't do. So basically Evander's not a nice guy and Colin is a nice guy. So Colin won't be doing Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, other stuff. Yeah, and the Daedric quests. So Evander will be doing all the Daedric quests, and we're waiting for Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood until Inigo gets his update, because in version 3 of Inigo there's going to be dialogue for those quest lines, and Evander's it was basically on hold until Inigo gets updated, but he will do the Daedric quest, and that's where you'll see him. But also we've got now the Creation Club mods, which I was so reluctant to install that, but to be quite honest, a lot of it I'm really impressed by. There's some really good quests in there, and some good equipment that you can get. There's one particular bow that I really like, that makes you invisible. When you draw it, you become invisible, and that's kind of a nice toy to have. But anyway, I've rambled too much. This is supposed to be just showing you what mods I've got installed, and that's it. So there's a lot fewer than I had before, but it does mean that my game is a lot more stable than it was before Christmas. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.